the hell do you have on? So
ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down. Tonight, your boy, I think I got a vibe for you. I want to take you guys on a tour of the 9 families of fragrances. To me, when we talk about DNA of fragrances, we talk about the continuity of fragrances inside of florality, woody, ambery. We talk about citruses. We talk about all these things, opulent incenses, all these families of fragrances that have great DNAs. I want to talk about 9 that have floored me, that just basically blown me away. When I picked them up, first time smelling, I knew that these were perfect for the genre I was selecting them for. So when we talk about fragrances in this particular motivated video, we're going to talk about what it is to have these hit different. I want to talk about these because these fragrances, they are not just about smelling good. As I always love to say, these are about presence. And in that, you have a memory to make, a memory to leave behind. And when you walk away and walk out of a room, you want people to seize the day, come speak to you sometimes. Not all the time. You want to be a little private, a little secretive, because you want these to be more alluring than they are super magnetic and attractive. But in a lot of times, the way you see and feel about these fragrances in these genres, they really make the mood set, they really make a lifestyle change, and they really make a statement. If this sounds like something you think you'll enjoy, you pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's wonderful experience. As stated in the prologue, we are talking about fragrances from DNAs that are very selective. These are ones that blew me away and really captivated me when I first smelled them. That's what this list is totally about. We want to talk about these because these 9 categories and these 9 fragrances are ones that represent something from everyone, something for everyone. From the boardroom and power plays to late night encounters, you have something in one of these DNAs that will fit your personality type perfectly. What we're going to talk about right now is one of the best gourmands to come out in the last 15 years, in my honest opinion, is the fragrance family of gourmand, as stated. It's from the house of Parfums de Marly, and that scent is OAJAN. Let's get right into it. First up, like I stated, the gourmand fragrance. We're going to talk about this DNA from an indulgent standpoint. When we talk about OAJAN or WOJAN, it is the perfect of indulgences. This one is one that I would say, think of wearing this one in the moment of a dinner date. You know, when you're going out and you're on a parlay, you're just chilling, relaxing, you're with your loved one, you want something that just is not appealing or attractive. You want something that is alluring and magnetic. And that's what gourmands do. They're fun to wear, fun to have on their skin. And like I stated, a pure indulgence. This is thinking of that dinner, that moment when you have a plate that's clear, the music is deep and low. Someone brings out a good cognac and you're feeling the vibe. That's what this particular scent is. You have a nice spice of cinnamon, a nice honey cloak, really, because the way that this one leans off that very indulgent yet slightly animalic honey accord, which is always a central effect to a fragrance. It's almost like this velvet cloak that you will put on, so to speak. And so when you put this particular scent on your skin, you're warming yourself. You're warming the room. You're warming the room to you. Then it takes you to this amber twist on the fragrance. The cinnamon, the tonka, the actual honey effect, all comes across with the boozy note. You start to pull people in, and that's what a gourmand is for. It's like a dessert. You know, it has this deep, just kind of effect that has a richness to it. It makes you feel like an adult. An adult sweetness is what you need. So this is not candy bar sweetness. This is slow burn. This is caramelized golden hue. This is for the type of sweetness that makes you have people lean in closer. That's the gourmand effect we want for ourselves as gentlemen, and that's what you get from the scent of WOJAN from Parfums de Marly. If you have not, get your nose on this particular scent because it's one that is a certain head turner when it comes to the effect of the gourmand DNA, and I had to put on this list just to show you guys what is perfection when it comes to that scent profile. Get your nose on WOJAN. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about what it is to have a floral DNA. 9 DNAs, 9 effects. That's what you look for in a fragrance. You want to have a great wardrobe, a great conduit to different aspects and different scenarios in your life. And for a man who loves to look, feel, and be polished, one of the best things you can put on yourself is a floral fragrance because they are lethal. It makes them weak, fellas. ALMAS is that fragrance for me. It hits different. It hits with the rose feel, the oud feel. It cuts through the air like this velvet smoothness. It has this air like razor sharp cleanliness while also having this deep rich rose. It makes the effect of you amplified. And if you're one who wants to be that man, that guy, put this on, because it is a scent that has everything opulent written on it and about it. It has a central effect of like a leathery saffron. Suddenly, once you put it on your skin, not only just suddenly, but subtly, at the same exact time, you have this rollout of rose and opulent saffron with that leather note. And when they start to meld together, put yourself in the picture of stepping into a gala. And that's what you want from this one, kind of like that opulent feel that you can wear this leisure, but I would say most definitely this is that elegant style of fragrance. Put on a sharp suit. Your presence will be undeniable, and you will feel eyes turning and following you throughout the room, especially when wearing a floral fragrance like ALMAS from the House of Odyssey the Victorious. It's one of those fragrances, without speaking a word, it says so much. It is one for the guy who is just the crown jewel of confidence, the crown jewel of the entire scenario, the crown jewel of the entire affair. It is you wearing ALMAS, and it is one of the best floral fragrances for a gentleman to wear. The DNA of this one just knocked me off my feet when I first smelled it. You could think of this as something like Noir de Noir, something of Gladiator Oud, something of one of the best rose oud combinations. With what I've come to find out in this one has the perfect effect of using pineapple that you will ever smell in the fragrance. One of my favorite, one of my top 10s. This is ALMAS from the House of Odyssey the Victorious. Next up in the DNA profiles that we find best, one of them to me, of course, is citrus. Citrus would be an evocative scent for any man to put on. But when you put on ELYSUIM, ELYSUIM is proof that citrus can be one that has the most amount of swagger. This one, grapefruit and lemon, they hit with a crisp and cleanliness, and it likes to pop. This one has a top note that's on a cold night, warm night, it's going to heat the room up. It's going to turn dinner and summer into one of those best days and nights ever. But then you have this sweet juniper berry with spice and vetiver. There's a woody taking effect that come in and lock you into what it is that the ELYSUIM really provides. And along with one of the best smoky cedars you will ever find in a citrus fragrance, it's not just another body spray vibe. That's exactly what I'm against. That's why I love to wear these perfumes and fragrances, because they become a great emphatic personality trait for any man. And this one is one of the best when it comes to citrus. This is citrus with muscle. So imagine undoing your tie after a long day. That's what this was about. Big wind, big stepping out. You are on a rooftop terrace with champagne waiting because you have struck gold. This is that energy. It is energy. It is edge. It is the scent of a man who can be not ignored. This is ELYSUIM, and it is the perfect provider of a citrus DNA that blew my mind when I first smelled it. Get your nose on OAJAN Parfums. The citrus fragrance for this particular list had to be ELYSUIM. Get your nose on it, fellas. Next up, gentlemen and ladies, let's talk about a scent from the House of Spirit of Dubai. Spirit of Dubai is one of those fragrances. This is actually my scent of the day. Sprayed on previously. I'm going to spray on some more. Man, I tell you, one of the best fruity accords and compositions that have come across my nose. I will say this, it blew me away understanding how the fruits, spices, and coffee and dates and everything about this one just comes off so particularly well. And when we talk about fruits, this is a melange of very best of fruits. This has things from dried fruits, ripe fruits, sun-drenched, juicy, dripping fruits. Everything that you want about a fruit accord is in TURATH from the House of Spirit of Dubai. It's like wearing an abundance of fruits everywhere, all over your skin. This one, it has the note of figs, dried fruits, dried dates, dried pineapple. The notes just come with a sunlit hue that is an aura around you. But then what happens to this one that is so particularly profound and indulgent is the way that the oud and incense weave through those fruits, making it one of the best of the Middle Eastern fragrances I have personally smelled. It gives it weight, it gives it grounding, and it gives it also a particular brightness with some of the citrus fruits and accords of tropical fruits that go along with this particular scent. To me, this is a luxurious fruit punch. That's how I would put this in a category. And a date night, an evening out, a lounge night, man, this one turns heads for sure. It's more like wearing a royal garment that is draped around a attire of being in a congregation of people in a room full of fruits, a room full of a dinner, a gala, one of those things. And it goes off well because it does not displace itself in an elegant format, even though it's as fruity as it is. One I love, one I adore, and that's why it's on this list. It's a 10 out of 10. Palatial, beautiful scent. Alive, it's magnetic, and it is unforgettable. And that's why it's on this list, because to me, it was one of, and has been still, one of the groundbreaking fruit fragrances in my collection. This is TURATH by the house Spirit of Dubai. Next up, we're going into and venturing into the spicy DNA. This is the DNA where African leather puts its prowess into play. Primal powers, what this one is. It is a phenomenal spicy leather fragrance. More to me pronounced in the spicy accord of cardamom, and a little bit of a cinnamon or nutmeg is in this one. A lot of sweet, warm spices along with the leather and geranium. And it is sharp, spicy, and addictive. If you've not smelled the way that this particular scent comes off on anyone around you, skin-wise, paper strip-wise, it is a top 10. It's a GOAT. It's a GOAT fragrance. It's one that goes come through. It's refined. It's rough. It is luxurious. It's one that smells of years of travel on a very luxurious leather jacket. The scent just feels like a rhythm. It feels like a rhythm. It feels like it's one that has a lot of character. It's the pulse of a bloodstream, the pulse of an energy, the pulse of a night, the pulse of a drum. It's just super, super sexy when you talk about the cardamom in this one. The spice is just phenomenal. To me, like I stated, it's a GOAT. Fire breathing, fire crackling, energy. It's motivating. It's a crowd pleaser. It's sexy. It's sensual, but it's one that it's never going to try hard. It's going to put you right in that proper window when wearing a spicy fragrance. And it is a phenomenal scent. And this is African leather from Memo Paris. Next up, gentlemen, ladies, aquatic. You know that when it comes to aquatic, you may know or may not know that aquatic is not quite my tier. Aquatic, beachy fragrances, I love the way they smell, but to me, they're not the ones that I first pull for, even in summer super high heat. But one fragrance that has really captivated me when it comes to the aquatic nature of a fragrance is 40 Knots from the house of Xerjoff. This collection of fragrances, and this collection, which is topped by 40 Knots, to me is about the private yacht energy. This one is a phenomenal scent that opens with a salty, salinic, marine note, but it's then the energy of this one, it transfers over to this sweet green woody undertone with this honeycomb effect. It smells super, super expensive, super, super inviting. Imagine this one, standing on the deck of that yacht, standing where the salt water is, standing in Monaco off the coast of France. This is that mist on your face when you have the water hitting the rocks, when you're anywhere. It's Corsica, just thinking of all of the Mediterranean trips, Portugal, the Rock of Gibraltar, everywhere you go, this one can be along with you. You smell the wood, you smell the teak, you smell the leather, you smell the driving gloves in hand when you get out and take the rental Ferrari for a spin. Sun bouncing off the polished teak is what you smell. It's inviting, it's freedom, it's luxurious, and it is a flip-flop weather while being in AMYRIS flip-flops. Like champagne, like oysters, this is what you get when you talk about aquatics with luxury, intent, and accents. This is 40 Knots, and it is the very best aquatic in my collection. 10 out of 10, no doubt. Knocked me off my feet when I first smelled it. Get your nose on 40 Knots from Xerjoff. Phenomenal aquatic fragrance. Next up, let's talk about Tom Ford. I got 25 Tom Fords in my collection. I rarely bring them out. Probably because they're so ubiquitous in people's collection and we all know about them, but one I cannot deny in this particular list of head-turning DNA profiles, where I want to speak about specifically notes and structures of DNAs. The woody scent in this one, hands down, had to be oud wood. The straight up authority when it talks about wood is oud wood. To me, yes, we have more opulent. Yes, we have more barnyardy. Yes, we have more striking aromatic. And yes, we have great ones that are in my collection that I just vouched for head over heels every time. I always go 10 for 10 for those fragrances. But when we talk about a Western woody fragrance, not just oud, a Western woody fragrance that smells phenomenal. It smells boardroom ready. It smells sexy. It smells refined. It smells luxurious. And it smells becoming of a true gentleman, man, masculine scent. You cannot go wrong with the scent profile behind Oud Wood from Tom Ford. It is not loud, but it does meet the manner of a profile that just has the great amount of projection and sillage. It doesn't need to be loud. Oud, sandalwood, amber is what you get, blended smooth as silk in a fragrance that is just weighed enough to fit inside a commanding room that you are commanding. I would think even in a room where you're thinking of dim lit lights and dim lit evenings, mahogany tables. This is a cigar bar type of fragrance. You know, glasses aged with aged whiskey inside of them. There's cocktails with dried orange slices and orange twists and new age music that's jazz in its modernity, but still has that ancient, no, not ancient, but the 1960s bop feel. You're in a place that you call your own. That's why you wear this one, because you're controlled, you're confident, and you're impossible to dismiss, and that's exactly what Oud Wood is. When it comes to an Oud DNA or a wood DNA, Oud Wood, Tom Ford, is the fragrance to get your nose on. Certainly one of the best and most respected wood fragrances that I've ever smelled and in my collection. Get your nose on Oud Wood. How could you not talk about Coromandel when we talk about earthy fragrances? This happens to be one of the best fragrances when it comes to an earthy tonality ever built. It is patchouli. Patchouli is a camphoric earthy scent in this one with this beautiful rose, chocolate, depth of a sweet resinous benzoin. It keeps you grounded. It feels grounded. It feels dark. It feels deep. But the vibe on this one with that amber incense feel from the benzoin, that creamy chocolate vibe that just rises up off of this particular scent, an ambery notion, it makes it so luxurious that you will not be able to stop spraying this fragrance on time after time again. The earthiness, the compounds, the composition, the EDP, the parfum, whatever you have in a version, get your nose on Coromandel. You will not be disappointed. One of my very favorite patchouli fragrances. It's velvet, it's cold, it's like a combination of a garden and an old library, but turn that into the most luxurious just image in your mind. It's one that has heaviness, it has weight, but it still has an airy compound to it. Dressed up, dressed down, dressed the way you want to be, even lounging. Put this on with a tux, put this on with a dress, you ladies. You're going to find something just beautiful. A gentleman's earth. That is Coromandel from the House of Chanel. Ladies and gentlemen, last on this list, when it comes to a fresh fragrance, one of the best to do it out in these times is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Paris. And AMYRIS Pour Homme Extrait is a fragrance that blew me away when I first smelled it walking in Neiman Marcus floor. They had just had the AMYRIS EDP. I had purchased that before. It's one of my very first fragrances from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. When I walked in, they were putting this on the shelves. I said, let me give it a spritz. I walked out, took 20 to 30 steps outside of Neiman Marcus and turned around and had to have it. Fresh usually means safe. That's not what AMYRIS Pour Homme does. That's not what the extrait does. It flips that. It turns the citrus and AMYRIS sparkle like a champagne bubble into something that is so overly indulgent in spices and this atmosphere of musk and just the push and pull of the spices with the citrus along the woods, the AMYRIS wood. It smells of a nice, creamy, spicy sandalwood. Think of this one when you talk about fresh. Of fresh spices, crisp, clean linen, sleeves rolled up. You know how you see me dressed in my Sunday services, my sleeves rolled up in my linen outfits, my linen shirts, t-shirt under, pulling up in a vintage car, fresh but not generic. That's exactly what this is, and that's what made it turn my head, because this one is not a cliche fragrance. It's one that is magnetic, clean cut, but not, with the games. It is one that has really amplified what it is for me to smell a clean cut fragrance. Nice linen, nice spices, nice woods. The type of fragrance that means fresh but doesn't make you want to feel like somebody has been passed by an ordinary fragrance. Non-generic, straight up, stay on point, stay on someone's mind. Wear AMYRIS Extrait as a fresh fragrance in your collection. For this DNA, it is a stunner. Get your nose on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my video for you guys today. As always, I hope that you found something entertaining and educational, because this has been such a fun video for me to shoot. We talked about DNAs. DNAs, to me, these were 9 DNAs from fruity, gourmand, fresh, clean, aquatic, everything that we have in our collection. This could be a part of a blend list. To really think about what it is to have a difference in DNAs in your scent collection, I tried my best to spell out exactly which and ones smelt the best to me in my collection, but I want to know what you have in your collection that fits one of these DNAs or all. And let our community know what it is that strikes you and has struck you emphatically and blew you away when you first smelled it, because that's exactly what this one was about as well. Just 9 DNAs that blew me away when I first smelled them. Remember, guys, that scent is memory, collecting is legacy, and community is culture. And we here at the Dry Down, we embody that culture emphatically, like I keep stating. These 9 families are more than categories, fellas. These are strategies. Pick the one that you're not wearing and feeling like you're just wearing a fragrance, like you're wearing a personality pick. Pick the right one. You're not just wearing a fragrance. I love to say that. And that means something to me, because you're wearing power, you're wearing intrigue, and you're wearing attraction. Here at the Dry Down, we are the culture. Remember that. Guys, tap in. Let me know below what you're wearing. Let me know what you're having fun with. Stay safe, stay sharp, stay balanced, stay bold, stay blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next conversation. Peace.